Hey girlies, it's Yuri, and I asked you guys in a poll which OC you wanted to know about, and guess who won? It's Alister. That emo boy would be so happy he won. I really thought Maya would win, but I'll talk about all of them eventually. Feel free to skip around to certain parts. I will be adding chapters, but I will also be adding some extra information beforehand to make things easier to understand. Also, I have a new Instagram and I need artists to follow, so please consider following, and I'll follow you back. If you have any questions, just ask me in the comments. When it comes to talking about them, I kind of get off track. So yeah. And Despite Me, which is the name of the story, by the way, Alister is the main character. He's tough to get along with due to his need to be the smartest guy in the room, and well, it's kind of hard to look at. Let me explain. Alister isn't human, like at all. He just happens to look like one, mostly. Although I don't typically draw him like this. His face is supposed to be a bit elongated, his eyes a bit sunken, and his pupils purely black. He has pale skin and speaks in a monotone voice, which can change really quickly depending on the situation. For yours and my sake, I tend to put a little bit of a beauty filter on him. And for everyone else, they see Alister as a little uncanny. They feel a strong sense of unease around him and a sense of danger if they stare at him for a little too long. Just to make it clear though, that doesn't happen on the daily to most people. He looks like how I draw him usually, but when he's feeling extreme negative emotions, his face starts to change. Alister knows this and typically hides away somewhere until he can calm down. Alex is one of the only people that can see Alister for what he is and not fear him. Usually, he comforts Alister and helps him calm down. But other than that, Alister's a bit of a bastard, if that wasn't clear from his constant frowning. He tends to be very condescending to others and sarcastic when it calls for it. And I know that doesn't sound like a good MC or hero, but hear me out. Character growth. Alister can be nice when he wants to. He's nice to his friends and to Alex, especially Lisa, who I've never drawn or mentioned before, but she's like a little sister to him, so he treats her very nicely. He's also hot-headed and can get really angry really quickly to the point where he's gotten into people's faces before, almost gotten into a bunch of fights before his friends could like pull him back. He's obviously got some emotional issues, but in the beginning he's deeply in denial about it. Alex has convinced him to go to a therapist about it, so we'll see. His hobbies are limited, kinda. He reads a lot, he works out, he's constantly taking care of his luscious hair and trying his best to avoid sweets. He has a horrible sweet tooth. He also has really bad eyesight, so he wears contacts so he doesn't look like a nerd, like some people. He reads books like The Odyssey or maybe Jekyll and Hyde, which is his favorite and it's one of my favorites. He's even convinced Alex to read a little bit, but Alex is like, I kinda wanna read something with pictures in it. He's a doctor for the supernatural, as in werewolves, vampires, witches, that kind of stuff. He's always trying to one-up his fellow doctors by diagnosing patients before them, but he ends up coming off as overbearing to the patient and sort of aggravated when they don't give him a clear answer. Because of this, his father, who also works at the hospital, it is kind of his boss, currently has him on less exciting cases, running labs and doing like paperwork or whatever. I don't know a lot about the hospital, so all my information comes like Grey's Anatomy or something. He of course, doesn't think he's done anything wrong because he can't see it. So when he's feeling bored of doing boring stuff at his hospital job, he goes to his side job for more benefits. The Reliquary. The Reliquary is a government organization that is in charge of the supernaturals, witches, vampires, werewolves, etc. They make sure that they don't cause an outbreak, turn a human into one of them, or try to take over the population, which has happened before, by the way. In my old comic that I started a long time ago, the plot was literally Alister and his team trying to stop a potential supernatural takeover, Spy Kid style, except they're tired university students. So, yeah. No one knows when the Reliquary formed, but it's clear they have dark roots, worshipping some goddess, giving them the power to control the supernatural. Speaking of supernatural, I love the show Supernatural. I love that show. And that show does this really cool thing where hunters can take bounties and go after supernatural beings that are terrorizing humans. Basically, I kind of stole that. Thankfully, I didn't steal it. It's like I got inspired by shows like Supernatural and Fairy Tail who have this bounty system. Basically, Alister can be assigned or get a bounty from his local district office and then either bring them in or kill them. Alister has never killed another living being that we know of. It's a little sketchy. It's real quiet. There was a time where Alister was rising through the ranks in the Reliquary with Maya and Lucas as a team. Alister was basically a spy for a little while back in university. His last mission gave him some very serious issues, so he doesn't do undercover work anymore, even if they try to pay him a bunch of money. And I mean, the amount they paid him on the university mission he did, he could have retired from, like, education. I don't know. But in the current story, this district's leader gives Alister a mission which leads him to getting into trouble with gods, amongst other things. Alister, by the way, has family. If you don't know how like children are born, I'm not gonna tell you. Figure it out. Alister has a mom who is his biological mom, and his father who isn't his actual father, but is acting as one to keep the peace. Alister doesn't know that his father isn't his biological father, but mostly because his father has the same pale skin and dark hair, he hasn't really questioned it. His biological father is... Overall, he has had a decent childhood. His father always pushing him to be better because of how smart he is. He also has a little brother, James. Alister doesn't really talk to him a lot, not because he dislikes him or anything, but he just feels like he can't properly connect with his brother, just because they're so different in looks and in personality, which is really an excuse, because his friend group is just literally a mixed bag of strange. Speaking of strange, let's talk about Alex, a boyfriend. They met in uni and have been together ever since. Alex tends to be very outgoing and goofy, which is the opposite of Alister, who is usually all business. When Alister is with Alex, he feels relaxed and happy. He feels like he doesn't have to prove himself or work for something. He's grateful to Alex for that. He buys Alex everything he could ever dream of, like merch from his favorite show, new cameras, Alex loves photography, a new phone because Alex keeps breaking his phone. But Alex stops him from trying to go overboard. But every birthday or holiday, Alister spends a lot of money on him. Alister would do anything for Alex, and I mean anything, just to keep him safe and to make sure he's cared for. Of course, Alex can take care of himself. Alister knows that. He's seen Alex defend himself, but it's like an instinct to care and protect him. He really doesn't celebrate holidays since his parents don't do this Earth's or this world's holidays at all. He's only ever celebrated birthdays growing up and something his mother called a forgiving day. It was just a day where you weren't allowed to talk and you were supposed to spend it with your blood family. And the whole point was to have a moment to breathe. Like any drama or any tension you have with your family, just let it go for a day. And then the next day you can go back to fighting each other. Alister still celebrates this, but he tries to get his mother to allow Alex to join, which she usually says no to. And it's not that she doesn't like Alex, she just feels that it should be something only blood family does. Which is very ironic since she lets her fake husband do it, but whatever. If you haven't guessed, they're from another world, and I'll talk about that in another video, but not today. Yeah. That's all about Alister. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think either Alex or Maya's next. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Videos might come out a little slower because I'm doing stuff, and I have a bunch of ideas and not a lot of time to work on them. But yeah, I appreciate 300 subscribers. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye.